Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Ravi Andrews. I'm a nephrologist and I've been working with Apollo Hospitals for the last 22 years. And I want to introduce a very special person today, Mrs. Kalra, and this is her daughter Tulika. Mrs. Kalra has been our patient for about a month or two, and she went through a lot. And I would want you to listen to her story from her own mouth, and you can understand all the trauma and the trouble that she went through. Over to you, Mrs. Kalra.
I arrived at Apollo Hospital with the serious attack of transverse myelitis, in which unfortunately all my limbs had stopped functioning. But surprisingly, the doctors of Apollo Hospital teamed up together and made my limbs active again. In fact, I will consider them as warriors who started fighting against the disease. Dr. Ravi Andrews had been treating me and curing me since the last 75 days. His starring personality and Dr. Ravi Andrews took up my treatment and cures in the last 75 days. His starring personality and immense skills in nephrology gave me the confidence to improve. His support and treatment has been unwavering since day one. He has been always by my side, whether I was in the ICU or in the hospital curing myself or in the rehabilitation center. His daily visits with a radiant smile kept me and my daughters going. And this much I can tell you, I suffered from a very serious disease in which he helped out by introducing plasmapheresis, and later on what happened, and UTI came into line, which is also being treated very smoothly. I extend my gratitude to you, Dr. Ravi Andrews, and my heartfelt thanks for all the support and all the cure and treatment which at least started making my limbs very active when I was on the verge of losing hope. Dr. Sandeep Nayani also teamed up to cure me and to give me the best. Dr. Sandeep's eyes reflects the knowledge he possesses. His skills are also noteworthy, and I can say that he over delivers his promise. I also met Dr. Sharan Deepak in ICU, who taught me a lot of positivity and told me that in spite of the aches and pains, if I could concentrate on my recovery, then surely I would be able to regain my health. Thank you, doctors, for all the support and for all the help and for all the encouragement which is making me stronger day by day. Now, when you enter Apollo, you will start believing in a woman's strength, because I found a lot of sisters clad in their uniform running here and there and helping each and every, you can say, patient and satisfying their demands and needs. I had a very good experience with the nurses of third floor international block and NICU. Then Apollo is also connected to Apollo Home Care, from where we get a number of nurses who come and attend you throughout the day and as well as night. So when you get 24 hours help, you do not have to entangle your children in nursing you, as they are already busy in making two ends meet in this competitive world. Another benefit which I found in Apollo was the introduction of many types of machines and equipments like the PET scan, which is an advanced form of scanning, and detects whether the patient is suffering from cancer or any other kind of infections, so that the correct line of treatment can be adopted quickly. Besides this, I also found a lot of physiotherapists helping each and every patient so that they do not remain glued to the bed and they are provided with exercises daily. Now, I found the housekeeping department also very useful, very punctual in coming and doing their activities, like simple activities, changing the bed sheet or getting the cleanliness done. But I was surprised when the ladies came up to clear my mess in the most compassionate manner and with a smiling face. I can just say, oh God, do bless them. Next, I also will talk about the dietitian who comes every morning to refer to the food which I am eating, if I am getting proper nutrition or not, or whether I want some kind of changes in my diet. That is also an advantage for a person like me because I am a foodie and off and on I feel like changing my dishes. Next, we find the guest relation officer who also comes up to inquire about your grievances or problems against any department. And I was surprised when I was a little upset about one of the departments and she solved it in no time. Then we also have the social community service who encourage the patient psychologically and emotionally so that they are not let down and they do not run into depression, because we all know that even the patient needs encouragement to improve. And I also found another thing, that gradually the doses of medicines are reduced when you talk that you are not comfortable with any of the tablets or you are feeling uneasy. That is also again a blessing in disguise. But mind it, to every patient I will say that with such a huge group of supportive people in this hospital and with all the I can say the latest developments and the machines and equipment, you also need to support everyone because God helps those who help themselves. So, whatever you are told to do, cooperate with everyone and also keep yourself pepped up psychologically and emotionally so that you do not run into depression. Thank you. All the best, Apollo.
I think I'll never forget this date, 25th May 23, when we had entered Apollo Hospital. So while quite a lot Mom has covered, but I think the emotional stress that we were undergoing when suddenly I could see Mom's limbs falling apart and nothing working, is when actually Dr. Andrews walked in and while the whole we can say it was diagnosed earlier, it was evaluated earlier by Dr. Sandeep Nayani, but the one person who gave me 100% confidence that yes, this treatment is going to work out was Dr. Andrews. And trust me, prior to that I was trying to figure out if I could get a second opinion, but I knew there was no way out to get another opinion for the condition she was in. And as soon as Dr. Andrews walked in, I still remember he just did like this to my mom and said, "You'll be fine, absolutely fine." And that's the only one line which I believed, and I trusted the process basically. And the only thing I would say is that one person who has emotionally also involved himself in this entire treatment, apart from being very practical throughout the treatment, was Dr. Andrews. I think every step he has tried to be with us, by our side, encourage us emotionally, and And the way he would just walk into the room, I actually told my mom, you should adopt Ravi Andrews and leave us, because the way she would smile when he would walk into the room, I think I also cannot make my mother smile like that. So I personally owe a lot to Ravi Andrews, but yeah, thanks to everyone who's done for my mother. She's my one pillar, and thanks to everyone for doing this. That's all I would like to say.
So I would just like to add a few words. She's a fighter. I mean, imagine her predicament. You get up in the morning one day, you go for a walk in your community, and the next day you're completely paralyzed. So transverse myelitis is what happened to her, and she was paralyzed below the neck. Both upper limbs, both lower limbs, just not moving at all. And can you imagine the shock that anybody can go through? But she fought through it. We did do plasmapheresis and other supportive treatment. She did respond to that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's the effort that the patient puts. And she put in a lot of effort, and that's the reason why she's able to walk independently now. And she's able to get a major portion of her upper limb activity back. Just want to add a few lines about Apollo Hospital. We call ourselves Apollo family, and that's really what we strive for, because we all work together as a family, but still the professionality is still there. We've been in this healthcare business for nearly 40 years now, and in this hospital, as far as healthcare is concerned, you can completely close the loop. Right from the time the patient comes to the hospital, the evaluation is done, diagnosis is done. We have a high-end lab service. Immediately we get a quick diagnosis. Treatment, all options are available under one roof. We have all specialities and super specialities. So treatment can be given, and subsequently the rehabilitation or the recovery process, we also have a rehab center which is attached to us, and we can complete the loop starting from the initial diagnosis, treatment, management, recovery, and the rehabilitation. Thank you all very much for listening to us, and thank you both of you for the nice things you said, and keep fighting, keep the spirit up. Thank you.
However, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Andrews. He has been the pillar of my strength, and that's why I'm recovering. Otherwise, I was losing hope. Thank you so much.